Hi folks, about a year ago now I did a video in which I was going through some of my old VHS video recorders just to see what the faults were and see which ones were worth keeping. And this is part 2 of that video, in which I'll be going through another batch of old VHS machines. As with the first video, there's not going to be any tinkering or any attempts at repairs in this video. I'll just be trying the machines out, having a quick look inside them just to decide if they're worth keeping, maybe spending a bit more time on in the future. So if that doesn't sound interesting to you, then I'd suggest skipping on to the next suggested video. Now, the original video included mainly late VHS machines that came out sort of towards the end of the VHS era, but we've got a few more slightly older machines coming up in this video. Anyway, enough waffling, roll VT! Welcome to the second video in which I'm going through my old VHS video recorder collection. If you missed the first part, I'll put a link to it up in the corner of the screen somewhere over there. The first one I'm going to look at in this video is this little Hitachi VT-FX340E. But before I get into that, just before I start, another quick look at this Samsung Combi unit, which appeared to be completely dead when I did the first video. As you can see, I tried it again and it now has sprung into life and it is actually running. But unfortunately, it's creasing the tape as it passes the pinch roller here. I'm not sure if you can see it on the video, it's probably actually easier to hear. It is actually damaging the edge of the tape as it passes the pinch roller there. So if we have a look at the tape, hopefully you can see it's creased over the edge of the tape there. So this one remains on the scrap pile, unfortunately. I also noticed on this little sharp, this is the one the capstan servo wasn't locking on. This follower should be in this outer track on the cam here. In fact, I was wrong. I think it should be on the inner track as indicated by the red arrow here, but either way it's in the wrong place. So that's a problem, that's not running in the correct track. And I've also noticed that this anti-static brush here has all been mangled up and damaged. So someone's clearly been messing around with the mechanism in that one. So without further ado, let's have a little look at this Hitachi, and it's another one I've labelled. It says, mechanism behaves erratically, dirty mode switch, question mark. So let's see how true that is. Another one that the cable's bundled up on. I'm going to cut that off. So let's give it a SCART output. Spin it round and pair it up. We have display, and we have power and on-screen display. Shove a tape in. Oh, that doesn't sound good. No. No, that sounds like just a motor running with no drive, doesn't it? That's probably going to be a belt, I'm guessing. So, let's have a look inside. Well, all looks fairly good. There's the loading belt, which actually looks okay, doesn't it? It feels okay to me, that. And that's spinning freely. Oh, the head was a bit stiff, but that's now spinning freely. Let's try the tape again. Oh, it spat it straight out. It did better than it did before, didn't it? Come on. There we go. Oh, no, and it's shut down. Can we get it to come back to life? Not happy, is it? Yeah, it does kind of smack of mode switch, doesn't it? Yeah. Oops, and it's munched up my tape, slightly annoyingly. So yeah, probably worth keeping that one and having a look at it at some point, isn't it? It probably just needs a mode switch clean and that'll be a good one. So yeah, definite keeper, that one. Good, keeper. Next I'm going to look at this Sony SLV-SE800, which I actually got out in the last video, but I wasn't able to test it because it's got a European plug on the end and I couldn't find a Euro adapter. But I've been to Home Bargains and I've picked up one of these cheap shaver adapters, which I believe will take a standard European connector. Oops. So, let's try that. And yes, that seems to fit in perfectly. So, give it a SCART output. And power it up. Anything at all? Nothing at all. Just take the top off and make sure the power is getting to the board. I'm a little bit sceptical of that shaver adapter. Head spins freely, all looks good. I see a fuse there, just going to unplug it. Check that fuse. Yeah, fuse is good. So is power getting through to the board? Get the probes in there. And power up. Yes, power is getting to the board, 239 volts. So it looks like we have a power supply fault in this one then. Can't see any obvious puffed up capacitors in here or any other signs of stress, although it's difficult to see under this screening can. There are a few capacitors under there, but from what I can see they look okay. So yes, would be a nice machine if it was working, wouldn't it? So yeah, probably is just about worth keeping and having a look at that power supply at some point. So yeah, I think I'll put this on the keep pile. Yep, keeper, that one. Right, next we have this JVC, which is actually a twin VHS and MiniDV deck. It's a model number, if I can find the model number, SRVS30EK. So, let's give it a SCART output and some power. We have a clock display, it's power up, and we have on-screen display. I'll try the VHS deck first, because I happen to have a VHS tape handy. That doesn't sound good. Oh, it's shut down. Oh, now it seems happy. Play. Yeah, it's actually playing. But the counter isn't incrementing, so it's not reading the control track, is it? Yeah, it's just free running, it's not reading the control track. So let's eject it. If it will eject. Come on. Well, it's not going to eject, is it? See if it'll play now. It is actually playing, but it's not reading the control track. See if I can get my tape out. That's going to be annoying if it's stuck in there. No, it's not going to do it, is it? Anyway, I'll find a MiniDV tape and we'll give the MiniDV deck a try. Right, I have a MiniDV tape, so let's power up. Hopefully it'll ignore the fact that it's got a VHS tape loaded. And we can just load a MiniDV. And that doesn't sound good. Has it worked? DV, play. No, I don't think it's playing, is it? Now, will it give me my DV tape back? Yes, it will. Has it left? Yes, it's destroyed my MiniDV tape. Oh well. So there's the VHS deck with my tape stuck in it, and there's the little MiniDV deck. I wonder if I can get it to give me my tape back. Let's just power it up. Right, see if I can get my tape out. He's unlacing. Oh, that seemed to work, didn't it? Alright, let's try loading it again. Come on. It's almost working, isn't it? Right, let's try play. Oops. VHS play. It's running, but we've still got no counter incrementing, so it's not reading the control track. But let's see if it's ejecting a bit better now. Yes, it's just about managing to eject now, isn't it? And it's loading a bit more reliably now. And it is actually running, but no control track. So let's just try cleaning the audio control head, shall we? The ejector's just about working. It's still struggling, but it is just about working, isn't it? Some isopropyl alcohol here on a cotton bud. There is the control head. Let's just try cleaning that. It looks absolutely spotless. I don't think that's the problem, but we'll clean it anyway. May as well clean the audio control erase as well. Actually, it's only audio erase, I think. Yeah, there's nothing coming off that at all. Let's just use the dry side on that. Just dry it up a bit. Just make sure this little wire is nice and firm. Oops, didn't really want to do that. That's nice and firmly plugged in. It seems to be okay at that end as well. Right, let's try that. It's loaded and laced up okay. Play. It's running, but we still have no control track. And it's still sort of struggling to eject, isn't it? Really not sure what to do with this one, because yes, it's probable I might be able to get the VHS side working. MiniDV side, I mean, I've got better MiniDV decks that I can use now, so I don't really need it. Would be a fairly nice VHS machine, I suppose, if we did get it working, but don't know. Yeah, a little bit questionable whether that one's really worth keeping or not, isn't it? Anyway, let's put it back together. Also, I've got to try and sort that out as well. I don't know how I'm going to fix that. It seems to have got all twisted up as well as being tangled. Anyway, wasn't an important tape, luckily. So yeah, bit of a questionable one, that. Oh, I've knocked my cassette door open. Right, next one I'm going to look at is this Matsui, which is not even stereo. So this is really borderline whether it's even worth bothering to test. But we'll see how it does. Give it some power. See if we get any clock display or anything. Yes, we have clock display. Will it come on? Yes, it says channel 5. So let's give it an output. Do we have any on-screen display? Of sorts, yes. If we change the channel, that's just noise from the tuner, isn't it? Oops, that's the channel down. Okay, tuner seems to be, well, doing something anyway. So let's try loading a tape. Snatch that off me. And it seems to have laced up okay. Play. It is playing, and it's tracking. There we go, got tracking. And it is actually working. Okay, the picture's not brilliant. Picture forward. 2 different speeds of picture forward. Play. Picture rewind. Yeah, 2 different speeds. Yeah, fine. So if we do stop and then fast forward, will it fuff? Yes, it is fuffing. And straight from fuff to rewind. Will it rewind? Answer is yes, it will. And play. Oh, interestingly, it's now not playing. Although it was working, wasn't it? So I wonder if that's now just got a clogged video head. I bet if I leave it running for a couple of minutes, it'll clean itself up and it'll start working. I'll just let that run for a couple of minutes and see if the picture comes back. Well, it's been running for just over a minute now, and as you can see, we've got some semblance of picture come back. It did just auto-track again, and we've got a picture of sorts. So I wonder if I eject it and put the tape in again to force it to auto-track again, if we'll get a better, decent picture again. So let's just play. Hopefully it will now auto-track again, which it is. And it's coming back. Should we try some percussive maintenance on it, see if that helps? No, don't think that's going to do any good, is it? Oh, it's made it auto-track again. It's almost like we've got no frame sync, isn't it? That's very strange. Is the SCART lead in properly yet? Anyway, do I really care? I mean, shall we have a little look inside? And the first thing I notice is that little thing's broken off there. That may be where I attempted to repair it by thwacking it on the top, of course, so that may not be its fault. Shall we just watch the mechanism in action? Yes, there it goes. Play. Although, interestingly now, the picture has stabilised. Now, the picture seems to have stabilised now. But you know, it's a Matsui. It's mono. It's not working particularly well. Is it really worth keeping? And I broke it probably by hitting the top of it. I'm going to say that's a scrapper. The lid is deformed there as well. I wonder if someone's given this some previous percussive maintenance. Actually, maybe it wasn't me that broke it then. It's obviously had a bash there, hasn't it? I think that, whoever caused that, probably caused this damage along here. Because I didn't think I hit it that hard really to do that amount of damage. Right, that's one for the scrap pile, I think. Right, next we have another Sony. This is a model SLV-SE740, and it also has a European plug on the end, so I'll need my little adapter. Right, so let's give it some power. It went whir, and we have a clock display. It's power up. Yep, that looks good. Okay, let's give it an output. Nothing yet. How do we change the channel? There we go. Line 1, line 2, program 1, line 1, line 2, or program 1. Okay, looks like it's never been tuned in. Right, let's give it a tape. That doesn't sound too bad. Right, play. I presume you press that. It's a bit squeaky. That's running, but I have to say the picture's not the best, is it? Right, let's try picture forward. Just one speed of picture forward, unless we hold it maybe? No, just one speed of picture forward. Picture rewind is working. Play. Yep, seems fine. Will it eject my tape without munching it up? Yes, it will. Okay, it's playing, but I have to say, that's not the best VHS picture I've ever seen. Should we have a look inside, just for curiosity? So there it is. Pretty standard looking VHS mechanism really, isn't it? Let's just put it through its paces. I suspect that's because I've got it tilted up, it didn't work. Oh, now it's shut down because it's moaning at me. Right, let's eject with it flat. Yeah. It doesn't like ejecting. When it's slanted, does it? So yeah, okay. It's a worker, isn't it? But is it really worth keeping? I mean, I'll probably keep it for now because it would be useful for, say, if you've got a load of old tapes and you just want to see what's on them, not really too bothered about playback picture quality, you just want to see what the content of the tape is. You could use something like this as a bit of a workhorse just to whiz through those tapes and see if there's anything worth salvaging on them. So yeah, it probably is just about worth keeping, even though it's not the best VHS performer I've ever seen. Next we have this rather heavy Mitsubishi. It's a HS-B70. It looks like quite a nice machine. Unfortunately, most of the, in fact all of the case screws have been removed, and I noticed the right hand audio level slider is not attached to the pot underneath, so someone's been in here before me, unfortunately. But I suppose I probably ought to check the plug first before I plug it in. Let's do that. 3 amp fuse. Yeah, that's actually fine. Amazingly. Yeah, no problem there. That's nicely wired. Always worth a check because you don't know who's wired these plugs up, really, especially on these older machines when they didn't have moulded plugs. Could be all sorts of horrors inside the plug, so I always check. Oh, I've dropped a screw now. Well, that screw I dropped out of there seems to have completely disappeared off the face of the earth. Goodness knows where it's gone, so that's holding well enough just to try it, but I will take this plug off when I finish testing this because that's not really all that safe. But anyway, it'll do for a test. So let's plug it in. And switch on. We have a display. Yes, and it's come on. Oh, no, it's gone straight off again. Comes on, goes straight off again. No, it's just cycling. What happens if we offer up a tape? Nothing. Power on, offer up a tape. Now we've got a tape symbol flashed there. No, this machine has issues. So let's unplug and have a look inside, which in this case is quite easy because someone's already removed all the screws. And there are the innards. We've got a lot going on in here. Belts seem fine actually. Little bit slack maybe, but not sticky in any way. Does the head spin freely? Little bit noisy, but that's probably just because it hasn't spun for several decades. I suspect if that gets running it will work okay. And yep, the brake is on, the hubs move okay. It looks superficially okay, doesn't it? We can run quickly. If we can put a tape in and encourage it to load the tape. Oh, it goes. No, that's. I think that's eject direction. Ah, that belt. Does that need to engage somehow in that? Oh yes, that engages in there. That's an interesting little mechanism. No, I don't think we're going to get anywhere doing that. But it's a nice machine, isn't it? So. Let's make sure all these ribbon cables are in properly. They all seem to be in, yeah. I mean, it is a nice deck. It's very heavy. So tempting to keep it. Let's just give it one more try after I've pushed on all those ribbon cables. No, it's not happy, is it? I think probably what it's trying to do is initialise the deck, finding it's not working, and then just shutting down. Well, while it's on, we can actually change the channel. Yeah, do you know what, I'm going to keep it because it's a nice machine. I may have time to have a look at it one day if I'm lucky. So it would be a shame to just bin it, wouldn't it? No, I'm keeping that one. Keeper. Right, next I'm going to have a look at this. Again, very heavy Toshiba. What model is it? Can't see a model number on it, must be on the back. Model number is V-77B. Now this one I'm fairly sure I got relatively recently from a charity shop, and I fitted new belts to it and it was working, so I'm quite confident this one's actually going to work. So in anticipation of it actually working, I'll give it an output. We have flashing clock, power on. I don't think this one gives on-screen display. I think it's too old to, sort of predates on-screen display really happening. So let's put tape in. And it won't lace up, will it? Because it's an old one. Play. Oh, no, that doesn't sound good. Stop. I actually very stupidly broke my own rule here by ejecting the tape immediately after the unlace operation. If the unlace operation doesn't spool the tape right back into the cassette and you eject it, you end up with a loop of tape hanging out and probably a tangled and damaged tape. Normally I would push fast forward and just run fast forward briefly just to make sure the tape is fully spooled back into the cassette before I eject it. On this occasion I didn't do that and it's resulted in a tangled tape. In that case, we're going to have a look inside, aren't we? Let's power off. To be honest, I still can't quite see what the tape is tangled around there. Actually, with a torch, I can see the tape. It's got right underneath the cassette case, would you believe? So that looks like something that might be quite tricky to free. I think probably if I power it up and then try and do an eject, and then power it off when it's mid-eject, we might be able to free the tape. So if I press eject and just kill the power there, can we get that tape out? Yeah, just round a tape guide, there we are. That's okay, yeah, gotcha, there we are. Oh dear. Not ideal, is it? Anyway, power up. There we go. Right, load tape. That's okay. Right, let's try fast forward. Fast forward is working. Rewind. Rewind is working. Right, let's try play again. Yeah, it's laced up, but it's not running. But it has this time taken the tape back into the cassette. Largely. Let's just fast forward to make sure that's wound up. Then we can eject. Yep, fine. Now we've got no capstan drive, I don't think. And obviously it needs lubrication. Yeah, no capstan drive. Why have we got no capstan drive? Where's eject? There it is. Is the capstan just seized up? Let's give it a spin. Oh, it feels quite stiff actually. Let's try that again now I've moved the capstan a bit. Oh, a little bit of movement. Let me turn it now. I think it might just be completely seized up. I'll put all this back and we'll have a look in the underneath. Well, that's all free. I wonder if it'll run upside down. Let's give it a try. So we're powered up now and I can turn it on. Will it load the tape upside down? Yes, it will. Where's the flap? There it is. Will it fast forward upside down? Yes, it's fast forwarding upside down. So let's observe the bottom of the deck while we push play. So here goes play. Well, that looked to me like the capstan was running there. Eject. It looked like it was running, didn't it? Anyway, bit of troubleshooting to do there, I think. We'll leave it for now. So I'm going to keep this one because I think it might be quite easy to repair. It could just be seized up, and I really like the look of this machine. That's what attracted me to it in the first place when I bought it in the charity shop. So I'm going to hold on to that one, even though it's probably not that brilliant a machine anymore. It's nice, I'm keeping it. Next is another Toshiba. Now you might think I've just picked up the same machine again, but no, this is actually a different model. It's a V83B. Looks very similar to the one we've just looked at. Unfortunately, this one has lost its front flap. Now, given that the belts in the other one, which was basically identical to this one I think, had dissolved, I don't think I want to power this one up really until I've taken the bottom off and had a little look at the belts, because I think they probably have similarly dissolved. So that's the first thing I'm going to do with this one. And yes, predictably, the belt has gone. You see the reason I didn't want to power it up, because if I tried to spin that motor, that might have got all horrible and tangled up everywhere, so I didn't really want to do that. What I will do is get this belt out while I've got the machine open, and then I can get a replacement belt on order to put in here. It does look like basically exactly the same as the other one, doesn't it? I don't need to take that right out, do I? That's just enough to get the belt off. I think I will take it right off because it'll make it so much easier. There we are. Now then, hopefully that's not stuck too badly. And we can just peel it off. I don't know how lucky we're going to be here. No, it's gone. It's stuck to the flywheel, and it's stuck to the motor pulley. Ah, annoying. Right, I'm going to have a... Oh dear, it's all over my fingers now. I'm going to have to do a clean-up job in here, sadly. I was hoping we'd get away with that, but no luck, I'm afraid. I think that's got the worst of it off there. Since I haven't got a new belt to go on here, I'll just put this back. And I can get a belt on order, and then I'll have to revisit this and give this a proper clean up before I fit the new belt. But I think I will just try powering it up, because if it doesn't power up it might be a complete waste of time ordering a belt. So I will just power it, but I'll check the plug as well before I do that, because I don't know who wired this. Well, it's got a 13 amp fuse, which is way overkill for something like this, but apart from that it appears to be okay. I mean, it's not dangerous, so yeah, I probably should put a lower value fuse in there, but I can't be bothered at the moment. I'm just going to give it a quick try. If it works, I'll swap that out for a 3 amp fuse. See if we get any clock display. And we do, look at that. Can you power on? Yes. And we can change the channel, yes. Will it load a tape? I mean, it won't run because we've taken the belt off, but yes, it's loaded a tape. Will it fast forward? No, because there's no belt. Will it rewind? No, because there's no belt. Will it eject? Yes, it will. Okay, so yeah, it probably is worth getting a new belt for that. Again, not because it's a wonderful machine, but I just like these machines. So yeah, again, that's another keeper. Now I need to go and wash my hands. Okay, next one I'm going to look at is this JVC. Now the reason this is all dirty and a bit sort of damaged in places is because I've literally just pulled this out of a bin. Well, actually it was about 2 weeks ago, but I've just had it indoors drying out for a couple of weeks. So it's effectively just been pulled off a bin, and it's a JVC model HR-D210 EK. And I think because of the history of this, because it's just come out of a bin, I'm actually going to take the top off before I even power it up. Well, it's rather dusty and dirty, and there's evidence of a spider that once lived in here. It's full of dust over here where the grill was on the top panel. Let's just see if we can lift this board up and gain access to the mechanism. A bit better access to the mechanism anyway. Is that enough to lift that up? No, we still have something holding it over the back here. Unless the board just lifts off. In which case perhaps I won't bother with that. Can I see very well under there what the mechanism's like? I can see fairly well under there and it all looks intact. Just give the head drum a little spin, make sure that spins freely. If I can reach it without touching the side of it. Yes, head drum does spin freely. So, I might try powering this up actually. It's strange, I would have expected that board to just hinge up with those screws out, but it doesn't seem to want to, does it? I can't see any screws I've missed. Anyway, let's try powering it up. I have actually already looked inside the plug for this one and it is okay. I took it apart because it had got wet in the skip, so I just took it apart to dry it and it was fine. So, here we go. Position the camera so you can see the display a bit better, and I'm going to power up for the first time. Yep, I don't know if you can see it, but it's quite dim. We have clock display. So, can we turn it on? Yes, it's actually come on. And we're able to change the channel. It's had 8 channels tuned in. Oh no, it hasn't. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Yes, it has. And we have AU, which is aux on the back, presumably. Shall we try loading a tape? My tape's on a little bit of a dodgy bit, so I'll wind that forward a bit first if it goes in. Well, it's taken it. Will it fast forward? No, rear idler's slipping. It is actually running, but the rear idler's slipping. It is actually basically working. And rewind. Again, is basically working, but we need the probably the tyre on the rear idler's gone. Now, shall we risk play? Yes, it seems to be running. Well, quite impressed with that considering I pulled it out of a bin. Let's give it an output. Now, does it have a SCART connector? Yes. It's new enough to have a SCART output. It's not all that old. But are we getting anything? Yes! It's actually playing. Although we've got the aspect ratio set wrong on the TV, haven't we? Oh, there's a bit of damaged tape going through there. Oh, that's a shame. I think I've clogged the video head there. It's taking the tape back into the cassette. Fine, let's eject it. Done. Have we contaminated the head? Yes, unfortunately I think we may have done. It's a bit of a shame. But it's working, isn't it? Just let it run over some good tape and hopefully it'll clean itself up. Here it goes. It will gradually clean up. I wonder if we can get a tape counter on here. Is there there's a counter button. Oh. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's the tape counter. That was actually working till it went past that bit of bad tape, wasn't it? I think, annoyingly, that's clogged the video head. I'm fairly certain now this will just need a head clean. So that, I'm going to say, is a fully working machine, which is not bad considering I pulled it out of a bin 2 weeks ago and it was wet. So, I'm a little bit annoyed with myself actually for allowing that to run over a piece of damaged tape. That's a bit stupid really. Anyway, worker. Ugh. not bad for a bin find. I've left it running for about another 5 minutes on good tape, and it is in fact now working. Fine. The picture actually is pretty good considering. I haven't even touched the tracking. It's a little bit off track, I think. But considering I pulled that out of a bin, I'm quite chuffed with that. Right, I'm going to end this video at that point because I've been through 9 machines now, which is the same number that I went through in part 1, and this video is already quite long. It's over 45 minutes, so I think now's a good point to stop. I've still got a few more machines to go through though, including a couple that date from around the mid-1980s, so there will be a part 3, and I'll try not to leave such a big gap as there was between parts 1 and 2. Anyway, thanks very much for watching part 2, and I'll hope to see you again for part 3.